One driver has broken NASCAR. Not with speed, not with money, with his feet. Shane van Gisbergen. 6 wins from the last 7 road course races. Tied for 3rd on the all-time road course win list. And he has only been in the Cup Series full-time for 1 season. But the wins are not what has the garage rattled. Veterans are calling his technique something closer to a legal-feeling muscle memory. A footwork trick so foreign to the modern Cup field that seasoned champions admit they could never learn it. And here is the part that changes everything. Whispers directly out of NASCAR's R&D Center suggest the rulebook itself is about to be rewritten. But what they are actually trying to kill is something much older than SVG. And when you understand the full history, you will realize NASCAR created this problem decades ago and forgot about it. Shane van Gisbergen posted numbers that should not exist for a driver in his first full Cup season. His Mexico City winning margin was 16.567 seconds over Christopher Bell. He is now tied 3rd on the all-time NASCAR road course win list in essentially 1 season. But here is what the raw numbers do not tell you. Crew chief Stephen Doran said he makes no mistakes. He just waits until somebody misses an apex and pounces. Even Kyle Larson admitted on record he is way better than them on road courses. And teammate Connor Zilisch described something almost unsettling. SVG is never even flat out, and he is pulling away. How is that possible? The answer lives in his footwell, and it traces back to 1986. To understand what SVG is doing, you have to understand what everyone else stopped doing. Modern Cup drivers brake with their left foot, always. The next-gen car uses a sequential-style transmission requiring no clutch input for shifts. That standard was set when legendary crew chief Gary Nelson installed a Jericho dogbox gearbox in Jeff Bodine's Hendrick Chevrolet at Riverside in 1986. The Jericho was so forgiving that oval racers could bash through gears at road courses without touching the clutch. Overnight, the most demanding skill in road racing became unnecessary. Then it became forgotten. Ricky Rudd, a NASCAR Hall of Famer, saw it happening in real time. He said the guys that could heel-toe, you could tell on a racetrack. They would usually go to the front. That was 1987. And then a 3-time Australian Supercars champion walked in and reminded everyone what they had lost. SVG does not brake like a modern Cup driver. His right foot is on the brake. At the same time, he rolls his foot sideways and blips the throttle with the edge of his shoe while his left foot works the clutch mid-corner. Heel and toe, a technique as old as motorsport itself. And SVG made clear it is nothing unusual to him. He said it is normal. He always right foot brakes and heel toes. It is what he grew up doing. But here is the twist that most people miss. And it is the key to this entire story. In supercars, lock differentials made this technique a survival skill. In a Cup car, the open diff means it is completely optional. As SVG himself put it, in this car you do not need to because the diff is open. He is carrying over a skill forged in a harder discipline and applying it where it is not even required. That is the unfair advantage. And it works on 3 levels no one else in the garage can replicate. Level 1, rear tire protection. By feathering the clutch on corner entry, SVG disconnects engine drag from the rear wheels for a split second. No driveline shock loading the tires mid-corner. His rears stay clean while everyone else's are destroying themselves. Level 2, corner rotation. SVG explained that as you get to the brake zone, the clutch out as you turn and helps the car rotate. He is literally using the clutch as a mechanical pivot tool. Level 3, throttle response. Heel toe matches engine revs perfectly to the selected gear. 0 lurch. 0 upset. He exits corners like the car runs on rails. And the scariest part, he is doing all of this while managing tires, managing fuel, thinking 3 laps ahead, and never once appearing to push hard. So the obvious question, why does not everyone just copy him? The answer is brutal. Joey Logano committed to right foot braking an entire Watkins Glen weekend and abandoned it during practice. Austin Cindric flew to Adelaide, Australia to run a supercars wildcard race, a trip literally designed to drill the technique. He came back empty-handed. Ross Chastain, SVG's own teammate, put in the most human terms possible. At 33, his feet go to the wrong pedals. He can manage it for a corner or three and then reverts. It is muscle memory. Kyle Larson was blunter. You cannot teach an old dog new tricks. NASCAR's open data system gives every team full access to SVG's brake traces and throttle inputs. They can see everything he does. They just cannot do it. This is not a gap. It is a canyon with no bridge. And that brings us to what NASCAR is quietly preparing behind closed doors. 3 specific theories are circulating through the garage right now. Theory 1. Mandate a standardized pedal box layout, stripping away any configuration that supports SVG's natural movement. Theory 2. Go full sequential and remove the clutch entirely on road courses, eliminating the rear tire protection advantage completely. Theory 3 is the nuclear option. Change the differential specification. SVG himself raised this point. In supercars, the locked diff is what forced him into heel toe originally. Alter the Cup car's diff spec, and you alter the entire equation that makes his technique valuable. NASCAR's 2026 Technical Bulletin covered horsepower packages and aerodynamic components. No mention of pedal boxes or clutches. Yet, but the pattern never changes. When one driver wins 6 of 7 road courses, the writing is already on the wall. And here's the part that makes this genuinely heartbreaking, because what SVG is doing is not some exotic modern hack. It is the old way. Right foot braking, heel, and toe. The physical feel of a driver managing a machine through 3 pedals and shift lever is a love letter to how stock cars were raced before the modern era. Banning it does not just eliminate an advantage. It eliminates craftsmanship. NASCAR, a series that spends millions marketing its own heritage, is now positioned to legislate that very heritage out of existence. SVG's debut win in Chicago was written off as a fluke. Rain, chaos, a perfect storm that would never repeat. Now it is 6 of 7 road courses. 3rd all-time. In one season, he has dragged a forgotten art form back into the brightest spotlight in American motorsport. And he did it simply by being himself. Should NASCAR rewrite the rules to level the playing field? Or should they leave the rulebook alone and let SVG do what no one else can? Drop your answer in the comments right now. And if you had to choose between protecting the craft or protecting the competition, what would you sacrifice?